to stay on topic in terms of sequels 40 years apart, and we're talking about the Goonies, John. Fans are set for a second instalment of the film, with reports suggest it could be released in the next couple of years. A source told The Sun that the Goonies reboot, long discussed, has finally been approved. Development is expected to start next summer, with a potential release in 2026 or 2027. Warner Bros. Understands the cultural significance of the original and it aims to get it right. John, I've been kind of trying to piece it together on different sort of platforms, and they're all pointing to the Sun's report, which we'll take with a pinch of salt, but I've seen it in reports that Steven Spielberg's coming on to direct.
Wow.
And that was one of my main concerns. Richard Donner, who sadly passed away a few years ago, was the original director. This, I think, Spielberg's story, Spielberg produced it, but Donner was the man in the chair for it. And when he passed away, I thought that was the chance away for a Goonies sequel. And I still have reservations about this, John. One of the sort of charms of that original film was the naivety of the kids in it, and their sort of freshness and their excitement to go on an adventure. These guys are all older than me. They're all in their 50s. And I don't know how this is going to play out if this is true. I have got concerns about this one.
I think it would almost be like at chapter 2, where they've grown up. It's a new era. They've got kids themselves. And maybe they're, I don't know, just looking into what's happened to fucking children in the modern era, what's happened to society. They've lost a connection with outside, everyone's inside, they're depressed, they're getting fat, they're getting testosterone levels are dropping through the fucking floor for young guys because they're just inactive, they're sitting on their iPads doing nothing all day. Maybe they're going to reflect on that and try and do a positive. Shut up. No, but try and project some positivity that, look, you get off your arse and go out and experience the world. Maybe they can do something like that. I don't know. Also, you can't have
a mixed message in there.
You need to go deep. I mean, these 80s movies, they always had a double sort of meaning. They always had deeper messages if you look for it.
Yeah.
That's what made them so good. I mean, I've never seen the Goonies. To this day, I've still not seen it. I've seen clips from it, but I've not seen the film.
Along in the making now,
yeah, I need to watch it.
Fantastic
was that
movie,
the one with the Italian guy who was singing? What a
Yeah.
fucking voice, by the way. Unbelievable.
He was a tenor, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was incredible.
Yeah.
So I do have to watch it, but it's always intriguing. I mean, they've always been well up for it, all of them. Go to filming and whatnot. I mean, obviously, Brolin's not going to.
Brolin's never knocked it back. He's always said if the script's right, you know, and the cast can get all back together. And some big names in there now that have went on to make big names for themselves, and some of them Academy Award winners. But I don't know. I don't know how I sit with this, John. I'm kind of regurgitating my feelings on Beetlejuice again here, like, at that point where I'm thinking.
Well, Tim's made a success of it. This is another example where you have to get it right. There has to be a real positive reason.
A reason,
for doing it, because you've got such an iconic film that's a baton passing film. Generational experience where adults will pass it on to their kids, it will pass it on to their kids.
Yeah.
You have to get it right. It has to be.
The idea is, John, that they obviously found the ship at the end. I don't want to spoil this for you, but apparently they're picking up when Mikey, who played by Sean Astin, was some of the treasure that was obviously it had to go back to the authorities. The government took control of that, but he put a stash buried, and I think that's the story they're going to try and tell, is try to find that treasure again. So I don't know if it can work. Maybe they'll do a bit of de-aging flashback, you know, to sort of tie in. I don't know.
Could be like a less violent The Five Odds, where you get the whole gang back together.
Yeah.
And maybe see how the dynamic is. The what was that one with fucking Edgar Wright film? The least good one of the Cornetto trilogy.
The World's End. Yeah.
But it's they've all went off and lived lives and come back.
Yeah.
It's an interesting dynamic. You have these people. Do they have the same bond? Have they remained in contact from their childhood years into adult years?
I think the chap that played Chunk, I can't remember the actor's name off the top of my head, but he stepped away from acting decades ago, and he was one of the best things about that original film. Such a funny character, such a great actor as well in terms of that film. Just so funny. Some of his movement, his comedic movement, just was great. And I'm not talking about Truffle Shuffle here. I'm talking about even blood. when he's blurred out, getting put into the back of the truck, and he's kind of opening his mouth, it cracks me up every time. It cracks my daughter up as well. This is one of her favourite films. But I'm not sure I want a sequel to this. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I'll quickly. I don't know if Sharia Signy's still in, but we did do a reaction to 12 Fail. Sadly, it get claimed. We get a strike on the channel for it, but we agree it was an unbelievable film. Just a stunning film.
Yeah,
we rated it a 10.
That was our reward for rating it a 10. We got a strike on the channel.
Was unbelievable. It was Vikrant Massey, is that what his name is? Vikrant Massey from obviously Babu fame.
Yeah.
Made in Heaven. Yeah, it was an unbelievable film. One of the best films I've seen, period. Just incredible story of human indefatigability. Just outstanding. So, yeah, we did watch it though, sadly. We did react to it and it get claimed. So you can thank whoever it was that claimed it for that. Clowns. I'll readily admit it, you can't claim it again. It's not in the channel anymore. Come at me, bitch. Yeah. Stephen, I searched up West Side Story, and you were probably wondering what the fuck is this clown next to me doing? And the rationale was Steven Spielberg. Yeah. And he was taking a movie. I mean, he didn't produce the original one in 1961, but he redirected a classic film. This isn't a remake of a film, but it's a similar thing where he takes something that's tried and tested and special to a lot of people and brings a more modern take on it. And he does it really well. It's got 92%, 85 on Metacritic. The original was probably about the same, if not less. 92, rated the same.
Yeah.
So you're putting it in the safe hands when you put Stephen in the director's seat. He's definitely stepping in.
Yeah, but
that's
I mean, the difference is obviously he has connections with the original film, being producer and obviously part writer. I don't know if he fully wrote the original film, but
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and I think he was hands-on as well, a hands-on producer. He wasn't like, he was on set, he would mingle with Donna, he'd mingle with the kids, he would hang out with the kids and stuff. So I'm not really sure. I don't know.
I mean, that's an incredible first sort of fucking tick off the box, if you like, of making a sequel a success, bringing in Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, I think
because he is, to me, he's one of the greatest directors of all time. Yeah. Someone might disagree out there, I don't know who.
But you need to see the original, John.
I do. I have to watch it.
You would like it, yeah. It's very good.
I mean, it's one of those. I mean, I've seen a hell of a lot of 80s kind of films. My sort of Goonies was The Little Rascals. I think that was the 90s. There was a lot of films like that back then, but it was sort of adventurous little kids that were a little bit maverick in their personality, getting out there and getting at it.
Yeah.
And there was tons of movies like that back in the day.
It still cracks me up.
Was that?
One-eyed Willie.
One-eyed Willie.
Pilot. Yeah.
You wouldn't get away with that now. You just wouldn't get away with it. But I mean, the cast is there, and is that your man? Ki Hai Kwan?
Yeah. I think back then he had a different name.
Yeah, it was Jonathan. John or something like that. Yeah. Crazy. Just call me Dave. Yeah. So backward. Actually painful.
The funny thing is, I think during COVID, they got all these guys back to do that. Do you remember? I'm blanking on his name. He played Olaf in Frozen. Did the voice.
Yeah, I'll search it up.
Can't remember his name. He was in Beauty and the Beast as well.
Hey, Josh
Gad.
Yeah.
He did this reunited thing during COVID this year. Remember, he pulled all these sort of stars. He did a Ferris Bueller one. I think he did
Lord of the Rings,
Breakfast Club, Lord of the Rings, and I think he did obviously one for the Goonies as well. So I mean, I think they are tight in terms of relationships. I don't think there's been big fallouts or egos or anything like that. I think since that film was made, they've all kind of stayed in touch. So there is a possibility it could happen.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't be adverse to it. I need to watch the original, but if there's a rationale there for making a sequel, and the cast and crew, or the cast, the OG cast are on board, including Chunk, whatever his name is, need to get him back as well.
Hey, you guys!
See if we can get Joe Pesci out of retirement. I think it was Pesci anyway. We can get fucking Chunk out of retirement. Whip his arse into shape. He'll probably be in shape by now, to be fair.
He is.
I think you've seen a photograph. Yeah, he's in far better shape now. Why not? This mic is doing my